Let's talk about something that gets misunderstood all the time in business: branding versus marketing. A lot of people think they are the same thing. Some even think branding is just your logo and marketing is just running ads. But if you are building something meaningful, if you want to create long-term impact, not just sell today, but be remembered tomorrow, you need to know the difference. Because when you get both right, that's when you grow with clarity, confidence, and connection. So in today's episode, we're going to break it all down. Part 1. What is branding? Let's start by talking about branding, because before you can market anything, you have to know what you're actually putting out into the world. So what is branding really? Branding is not just your logo. It's not your color palette. It's not the font you picked on Canva. Those things are expressions of your brand, but they are not the brand itself. Branding is who you are. It's the identity of your business. It's the story, the emotion, the experience people walk away with, whether they have bought from you or not. Think about it this way. If your business were a person, branding is his personality, his voice, his values. It's how that person speaks, what they believe, how they dress, and the kind of impression they leave when they walk out of the room. That's branding. It answers the deeper questions. Who are we? What do we stand for? Why do we exist? Why should anyone care? When people come across your brand, they are not just looking at your product or service. They're looking for meaning. They're asking, consciously or not, do I connect with this? Does this feel like me? Do I trust it? And trust me, people can feel it. Good branding isn't loud. It's clear. It knows what it is. And that confidence shines through, whether you're a solo creator, a new startup, or a big business. Let's take a quick example. Imagine you walk into two different coffee shops. One looks cool, but everything feels random. The music, the menu, even how the staff talks to you. The other one? Maybe simpler, but the vibe is consistent. The tone is warm. The purpose is clear. You can feel what they stand for, even if you can't put it into words. That's branding. Now here's something a lot of people miss. Branding is long-term. It's not meant to deliver quick wins or sudden spikes. It's meant to build a foundation, a deep connection with your audience that grows over time. Because people don't stay loyal to products. They stay loyal to brands that represent something. It's why you'll see people wear the same brand for years. It's why some creators build communities, not just followers. And it's why you remember certain businesses, even if you haven't bought from them yet. Branding creates meaning. And in a noisy, distracted world, meaning is what cuts through. So whether you're just starting or growing fast, don't skip this part. Define who you are. Be intentional about how you show up. And remember, your brand exists whether you shape it or not. So you might as well shape it with purpose. Part 2. What is marketing? Now that we've broken down what branding is, let's talk about marketing. If branding is who you are, then marketing is how you share that with the world. It's how you tell your story, how you show up, how you connect. Marketing is the action, it's the strategy. It's the tools and tactics you use to get people's attention and invite them into your world. And marketing is everywhere. That when you post on Instagram, send an email, launch a product, create a billboard, run a Facebook ad, that's all marketing. But here's the key. Marketing is temporary. It happens in campaigns, launches, seasons. It's designed to get a response, to make people do something. Click, sign up, watch, buy. So if branding is about building trust, marketing is about driving action. Let me put it this way. Branding is the story and marketing is how you tell it. Branding is the message. Marketing is the megaphone. Now marketing works best when you know three things: who you're talking to, what you're offering, why it matters to them. That's where marketing strategy comes in. It's about choosing the right platforms: Instagram, YouTube, email, podcasting, based on where your audience actually is. It's about understanding timing, offers, pricing, and positioning. But, and this is a big but, no matter how good your marketing is, it won't land if your branding is weak. Because if people don't understand who you are or what you stand for, all the ads in the world won't make them care. You might get a few clicks, maybe even some sales, but you won't build loyalty. You won't create that emotional connection that keeps people coming back. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone launches a great marketing campaign, beautiful visuals, catchy copy, solid targeting. But when you click through, the brand feels off. There's no real identity, no personality, nothing to connect with. You scroll, maybe even add to cart, but you don't feel compelled to buy. Why? Because marketing caught your eye, but branding didn't win your heart. On the flip side, when branding and marketing work together, magic happens. People recognize you, they trust you, they buy from you again and again. So here's how I like to think of it. Branding is planting the seed, marketing is watering it. You need both. But if you only water without planting anything meaningful, what grows? Not much. Marketing alone can make noise, but branding gives that noise meaning. So if you're marketing and not getting results, pause and ask, is it a strategy problem or a branding problem? Because often it's not the algorithm, it's not the audience. It's that the brand isn't clear enough to cut through the noise. Remember, people don't just buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. And that why lives in your brand. Marketing just helps people see it. Part 3, key difference between branding and marketing. Now that we've defined both branding and marketing, let's break down the difference between the two. Because even though they work hand in hand, they serve very different purposes. First off, think of branding as the foundation. Marketing builds on top of that. Branding is internal, is how you see yourself and how you want to be seen. Marketing is external, is how you present yourself to the world. Branding is slow, deep, and intentional. Marketing is fast, tactical, and responsive. Here's another way to look at it. Branding is the feeling people get when they think about you. Marketing is the message you push out to get their attention. Branding is what makes someone say, I like this brand. It just gets me. Marketing is what makes someone say, ooh, I want to check this out right now. Branding asks, who are we? What do we believe? What kind of impact do we want to make? Marketing asks, how do we reach people? How do we sell this? What platform should we use? So while branding creates the emotional connection, marketing focuses on the conversion. Let me give you a real world example. Let's say you sell handmade candles. Your branding is what makes someone say, this candle isn't just wax. It feels like peace. It reminds me of my grandma's kitchen. I love everything this brand stands for. Your marketing is what makes someone click the link in your Instagram bio and actually buy one. Now here's where it gets important. Marketing evolves constantly. Platforms change, trends shift, algorithms update. But your brand, if it's rooted in something real, it stays strong. That's why branding is what keeps your business steady, even when your marketing has to adapt. You could go viral tomorrow. You could trend for a week. But if there's no brand underneath that attention, it fades fast. And that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. They focus so much on marketing, the next hack, the next reel, the next ad, that they forget to build something meaningful behind it. Here's the truth. Branding is your legacy. Marketing is your megaphone. Marketing brings people to your door. Branding is what makes them stay and tell others to come too. So as you build your business, ask yourself, are we just chasing clicks or are we building trust? Are we only looking at short-term wins or are we playing the long game? Because marketing will get you seen, but branding will make you unforgettable. Part 4, why branding is becoming more important than ever in 2025. So why is branding even more important now in 2025? The short answer, because attention is harder to get and even harder to keep. We're living in the noisiest time in digital history. Everyone's online. Everyone's selling something. There are more creators, more businesses, more startups, and more content than ever. The scroll is endless. And that means people are making snap judgments in seconds, sometimes less. So here's the truth. If your brand doesn't make people feel something, they'll scroll right past. Now, in the past, marketing alone could carry a business. You could run a few ads, get good results, and scale quickly. But that's not enough anymore. That people today don't just want to buy. They want to belong. They want to support businesses and creators they feel connected to. They want to know your why. They want authenticity, values, personality, something real behind the product. And that's what branding gives them. Branding turns customers into communities. It turns clients into champions. It gives people a reason to stick around beyond the transaction. Think about the brands people tattoo on their bodies, or the creators whose merch sells out before they even promote it. That's not just marketing power, that's brand loyalty. And in 2025, loyalty is gold. With algorithms constantly changing and ad costs rising, you can't rely on reach alone. You need relationship, and branding builds that. Another reason branding matters more now is because AI and automation are rising. More people are using tools to generate content, write captions, design logos, which is great, but it also means that originality and voice are more valuable than ever. People are craving human connection in a world that's becoming more automated. Your brand, your story, your tone, your beliefs, that's your competitive edge. Because let's face it, anyone can copy your product. They can match your price. They can steal your marketing ideas, but they can't copy your brand essence. Not if it's real, not if it's built from your truth. That's why in 2025, the businesses and creators that win are not the loudest. They're the clearest, the most consistent, the most connected. So instead of only asking, how can I get more people to see me? Start asking when they do see me, what will they remember? Because marketing gets you discovered. But branding is what makes people care and come back. Part 5, how to align branding and marketing for real growth. So we've talked about what branding is, what marketing is, the differences, and why branding matters more than ever in 2025. Now let's bring it all together, because the real power shows up when branding and marketing work in sync. The truth is, you don't need to choose one or the other. You need both, but in the right order and with the right alignment. Here's how to do that. First, you start with clarity. Get clear on your brand identity before you try to market anything. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What transformation do I offer? What feelings do I want people to associate with me? Once you know that, lock it in visually and verbally. Your brand should feel like the same person across everything. Your Instagram, your emails, your packaging, your website, your content. That consistency builds trust. People can't trust what keeps changing. Next, use marketing to amplify that brand story. Let your content, your offers, your campaigns all speak from the same place. If your brand is bold and disruptive, your marketing should reflect that. If your brand is calm and comforting, your messaging shouldn't sound like a high-pressure sales pitch. That's alignment. You also want to make sure your strategy matches your identity. For example, if your brand is community-driven, create marketing experiences that are interactive, polls, challenges, Q&As. If your brand is luxury, focus more on exclusivity, design, and emotional storytelling. And here's another piece, feedback. Don't build your brand and marketing in isolation. Pay attention to how people respond, what they resonate with. Your audience will tell you what they're connecting to if you listen closely. Sometimes you think your brand is about one thing, but your audience sees something else. That's not a failure, that's insight. Use it, evolve with it, stay rooted but flexible. And finally, play the long game. Marketing can bring quick wins. Branding brings lasting impact. When you do both well, growth becomes more sustainable, more scalable, and honestly more fun. You're not just chasing trends anymore. You're building something solid, something that matters. So to recap, let branding define your identity. Let marketing express that identity. Make sure they speak the same language. And don't be afraid to adjust as you grow. Because when your brand is clear and your marketing is aligned, that's when you stop chasing people and start attracting them. So here's the big takeaway. Branding is who you are. Marketing is how you tell the world. One builds connection, the other drives attention. You need both, but branding should always lead. Because in 2025, people are not just buying products. They're buying stories. They're buying alignment. They're buying into who you are before they buy what you sell. So build your brand like it matters. Because it does. Start with clarity, stay consistent, align your message. And remember, it's not about shouting louder. It's about speaking with purpose. Whether you're a creative, an entrepreneur, or just starting out, don't just market to be seen. Brand to be remembered. Thanks for tuning in. If this helped you, share it with someone who's building too. And hey, don't just build a business, build a brand.